Thank you for joining us. This is a really exciting week for us in Scotland, Computing Science Scotland Week. We've had really fun, exciting sessions all that began on Monday and they're continuing all week. But I think personally this is one of the most exciting sessions and you'll see why very soon. So today's session is Amazing Animations with Scratch Junior, and this is a really special session because our youngest of learners from all over Scotland are joining this session. Do you know that we are waiting on over 260 children from all across Scotland to join this session? That's 26 out of our 32 local authorities have signed up to join us. I'm going to run through them very quickly and you might recognise who you're from. We have Aberdeen, Aberdeen City, Fife, Falkirk, Scottish Borders Council, South Lanarkshire, Glasgow, Midlothian, North Ayrshire, North Lanarkshire, Edinburgh, Perth and Kinross, East Dunbartonshire, East Lothian, Renfrew, Highland, Inverclyde, East Renfrewshire, Stirling, South Ayrshire, Shetland, Dundee, Moray, Clackmannanshire, West Lothian, the Western Isles and Dumfries and Galloway. And I think it looks like there's some full schools joining us all at once as well. So I noticed on the registration there's lots of boys and girls joining us from Craighead in East Dunbartonshire, from Dunbog in Fife, and from Fulla in Shetland. So hello everybody and welcome to our very special session.
We're going to teach you.
Thank you. Just keep a wee eye on muting our mics. So this session is very special because our guest presenters are joining us all the way from Boston College. They're joining us from the CSScot Group in Boston College. They aren't in Scotland. They're sitting really far away. I wonder if anybody knows where Boston College is. Where is Boston? Could anybody type that into the chat? It's not in Scotland, I'll give you a clue. Across the water. I wonder if anyone can tell us where Boston is. USA, the United States of America. So this is a really, really special session. Early level and first level computing science is about understanding how digital technology works and beginning to understand the processes and instructions that are required to make it work. We might be creating instructions or programs, or we might call it codes. And we might do this by computational thinking. So we're going to do lots of problem solving today. Lots of tinkering. We'll be thinking about patterns and sequences and numbers and directions. Perhaps the grown-ups on the call will have already watched the little video that we sent to you, or maybe they were at the session on Tuesday. I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to hand over to our friends at the DevTech Research Group. We have Jess Blake-West and Francisca Caroca, and they are joining us to lead us on the most amazing journey with this fun block-based coding app, Scratch Junior. We're going to become programmers this afternoon and make our very own animations to tell a story. So let's get creative, let's have fun, let's use our imaginations and let's get sure. I'll hand over now to you. Welcome Jess and welcome Francisca, and thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Eva. And hello, everybody. We are so happy to be here with you today. And yes, we are from far away, not in Scotland. So I hope you enjoy this session with us. That's called Scratch Junior, Coding in Early Childhood. Today, I am here with Jess Blake-West, my wonderful colleague. She is a Scratch Junior Learning Experience Designer. And my name is Francisca. I am the International Partnerships Coordinator at DevTech Research Group. We are a research lab directed by Dr. Marina Bears, and we are at the Lynch School of Education and Human Development at Boston College, Massachusetts. So for today, if you can, please keep your cameras on, your microphones off, and grab a device with Scratch Junior already downloaded. It can be an iPad, a tablet, a cell phone, even your laptop.
When I wanted to say hi to everyone, I wanted to say good morning because it's 9 o'clock in the morning here. That's how far away we are. But anyways, so it looks like we've got our slides. I'll pass it back over to Francisca.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jess. So again, keep your cameras on if possible, your microphones off, and grab a device with Scratch Junior already downloaded, please. So for today, we are going to talk a little bit about Scratch Junior and how you can use it with the coding as another language approach, which is the way we teach this technology. And then we are going to use it all together for a create along activity. So stay prepared.
Great, thank you. So first, I want to know, and I know I can't see everyone, but if you know what Scratch Junior is, can you raise your hand? I see hands. Okay, good. So I'm glad some people know what Scratch Junior is. And if you don't, that is totally fine too, because today we're going to tell you what it is. So Scratch Junior is an app that you can get on iPads or tablets or even some computers. And you can use it to make stories and animations and even kind of like little movies of anything you want. And the way you do that is that you are the programmer. So you use all of our different color blocks on the screen to make your characters move and talk and sing and go to different pages and all different things like that. So we're going to show you guys everything, but that's kind of the idea of what we're doing. We're becoming programmers. And programming means talking to computers. So we're giving instructions to the computer, in this case, our app Scratch Junior, on what we want to do. Okay, so Francisca, can we go to the next slide and look at what a little bit more? Okay, there we go. So this, oh no, yeah, good. So this is Scratch Junior. So up at the top, in the very, very middle, we have a cat and a chicken and a barn, and we call this the stage. That's where all of our animations are going to happen. So everything that we program and decide to happen in our projects, we're going to see happen right in the middle on the stage. And then down below, we have our programming area. And that's where we put all of our programming blocks. It's our language that we're going to use to talk to the computer. So we can have our start blocks, and those are all the yellow blocks. Those are what tells our programs to start. Then we can use some blue blocks to make our characters move. We could do purple blocks to make our characters change size or disappear. And we can also use our green blocks to add some sound. And there's other blocks too, but those are kind of the most exciting ones that we're going to talk about today. Over on the one side where you see the cat, the barn, and the chicken all in a row or all in a list, that's where we have our characters, and you'll see a plus sign right there. That's how you can add more characters. And then on the other side, you'll see a little picture of the barn and everything, and that's where we can add our pages. And so we will show everyone this much more slowed down, but just so we know, this is what our Scratch Junior screens are going to look like. And if you don't see the same pictures or anything, if your center of your screen looks just plain white, that's okay, because you can change the background to anything you want, and we're going to show you how to do that too. Okay, next slide. Okay, and so this is a little bit more for our teachers out there, but so Scratch Junior can be used in the classroom. It can also be used at home. We have things that you can do with families, so parents and siblings and grandparents can all get engaged with Scratch Junior too. So what we have on this screen is just a few different ideas of how we can use Scratch Junior. And down in the bottom corner is a professional development course. So kids, that means it's a class for your teachers. It's teaching your teachers how to teach. And so if your teachers want to do more Scratch Junior and want to know a little bit more about how we like to teach Scratch Junior, that's the class they can take. And then on the other screen, we have, it's called Scratch Junior Connect. It's that blue and orange thing. That's where your teachers can share how they use Scratch Junior in the classroom. And even if they have your permission, they can share your projects so that other classrooms can see your projects too and get ideas, because I'm sure all of you have really brand new ideas that other kids might not ever have thought of. So that's our idea, is we want to share our projects, we want to share how we talk about Scratch Junior, and we all just want to have fun. Okay, cool. Next slide.
Yes, great. Thank you so much, Jess. Now we are going to start getting ready for our Create Along time. So get your device with Scratch Junior ready. I will start showing you 2 projects that actually we made to show you, and then it's going to be your turn to create something unique. Okay? So let's see. For the first project, I want everybody paying attention to all the things that Jess already showed you now here in this example. So here we go. Look at the blocks, the characters. And now, wow. That's where we work. Pay attention to the program just created. So that means the blocks she used. Yay! That's wonderful. And now I have another example for you here.
Hi, this is my family. We moved to the United States 6 years ago. I have an 8-year-old son, Lucas, and my husband's name is Matthias.
Hi, I am Lucas.
Hi, I am Matthias and I love Scratch Junior.
Our favorite thing to do is to spend time in the nature.
To stop here, just for everybody to pay attention to the blocks. I know you can't hear my audio, but look at the block that I used. So maybe that's something that you can also use in your projects. Okay, wonderful. Cool. Here we go.
Does everyone see Scratch Junior on the screen? Awesome. Okay, let's see if I can make this my full screen. There we go. Okay. So here's my Scratch Junior. I've got a ton of projects, but to start, I'm just going to make a brand new project. And so this is our time. I'm going to make a project on the screen, but I want everyone to follow along and make your own project while you watch me. So I'm going to give you ideas of different things you could do, but the basic thing is you're making your own project. And you guys saw the 2 videos that Francisca and I made. Were they the same? I didn't think so, right? They were pretty different because we were talking about ourselves. I was saying, I'm Jess, and I go to work and I see my friends. And Francisca was saying that her and her family spend time in nature. But the main thing is that we were talking about ourselves. And so that's what our projects are going to be today. We're going to tell a story about ourselves. You could say something that you like to do. You could say something that you do every single day. You could say what your favorite color is. You could do anything you want. And so by the end of this, everyone's going to have their own special project, and it's going to be totally yours. Or maybe you're working in groups, and then it can be all about your one group, and that's perfect. But you can also look at my screen to get ideas of different kinds of things to do. Does that sound good? Okay, cool. So Francisca, what should I start with?
I'm thinking that the first thing I like to do is to name my project.
Yes.
Can you
Okay.
show me how to
So
do that?
and so this is really special because if we share our projects later, we're going to want to do this. So we're going to go up to that top corner with a yellow, like kind of square shape, sort of. And I'm just going to type in my name, Jess's project. So now I know that that project is mine. That sound good? And you could make up, if you're working in groups, you could say Group Awesomes project. And so you remember that it's your group. Does that sound good? Okay. The other thing, actually, now that I think about it, is if I want to remember, I can actually add words right on the screen too. I'm going to click this ABC button at the top, and I'm going to say Jess's project. And so that I can always see it on my main screen too. Okay. What else should we do?
Now I would like to learn how to change the background. So if I'm talking, for example, something that I like to do, I would love to have a background that shows that. Can you show us, please?
Totally. So yeah, as Francisca said, these projects are our own and we can make them special by choosing the different kinds of backgrounds that we want. So I'm going to go up and click this button right next to the ABC, but it has a little picture of some hills. And now I have all the options for my backgrounds. Look, there's one of me. I took a picture of myself right there. But I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to choose this one on the stage because I think I want to tell a story about how I really like to dance. And I like dancing on a stage. Okay.
That sounds really cool. And now, how are you going to make cat dance then?
Okay. So let's make cat dance. So I'm going to start by choosing my start blocks. My start blocks are over here. Can everyone see where my mouse is? We have all of our different categories for blocks here. And if we choose the yellow button, that's our start blocks. That tells us how we're going to start our program. And so my favorite block to use is this green flag. So I'm just going to drop it down here. And one thing I notice about the green flag is that there's another green flag on the screen. Can we raise our hands if we see 2 green flags on the screen? Okay.
Yep.
Here, for anyone that doesn't, I'm gonna show you right here. It's up at the top. There's a green flag up here. So anytime that we make our program with a green flag block, we can start it by pressing that green flag at the top. And that means we can make all of our characters go at the same time. We could make a bunch of different programs go. It's a good block to know. So now I'm going to go over to our blue blocks because our blue blocks are all about motion. And like I said, I want to dance. So let's see. I think we could do any dance we want, but I'm going to go a little back and forth, a little up and down, and then I'm going to spin around. So let's see. The first thing I like to do is I like to just test it out. I can just click on it down here and see what that looks like. Oh, that was really fast. Let me see again. So one thing I'm noticing is that when I do just this block, let's see what it does. When I click it, oh, it only turns it a little bit. And I want Cat to turn all the way around. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this number down here and I'm going to change the number. And that makes it spin way more than just one time. So let's see. I think I'm going to try out 12. Let's see what that does. Oh, yeah. That's a good spin. Okay. So let's see. Now what does it look like all together? Okay, I like that. And now I think I'm going to try some other blocks that aren't really motion blocks, but they kind of look like dancing. If we go over to these purple blocks, they change the size of our character. So I'm going to do a bigger and then a smaller. And I want to see kind of what that looks like. I think it could be kind of fun. Ooh, yeah. I feel like that's kind of, sometimes people dance by going forward and backwards and getting a little bigger and smaller. And I like that. So I think I'm going to add one more thing, which is a repeat loop. So I didn't talk about this, but the orange blocks are really cool. They let you change how other blocks do things. And so this one that kind of has like a hole in it, you can stretch over other blocks and it'll make those blocks go over and over and over again. It's basically going to say, I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So let's see what that looks like. All right. How does that look, Francisca? What do you think?
That was really cool. And you know what? I think it's really great that you are testing your program before having the final version of it. That's really important because that will help you figure out if your characters are doing what you want them to do. So great. Can you show me one more time how it works?
Yeah, so I'm going to click, and you know what? I've been clicking down here, but I'm going to click up here and make sure that it works when I click the green flag at the top too.
Yes, test that out.
Oh, good, it works. Okay.
That's
so that's
wonderful.
my dance. What do I do to end it, or should I add more? What do you think?
I would like to know if you add one more page, what block will you need to use?
Okay.
When we
So,
do like longer stories.
Yeah. So, you know, if I'm telling my story and I say, I like to dance, but I also like to go outside and go to the beach. So I'm going to add a new page here. And now I have a brand new page that I can do. And I can change the background to something different. And like I said, I want to be at the beach. So now I can show that it's at the beach. But one thing with stories is we always have to turn the page to get to the next page in a story, right?
Yes, exactly. So how do you do that?
Okay, so if I go back to my first page and I look at my red blocks, these are the blocks that tells us to end the project, or sorry, end the program. So if we want our program to be done, these are the blocks that we can use at the very end. And so if I use this one, that one's just plain, it says, okay, done. If I use this one, I'm not going to tell you guys what it does. I encourage everyone watching to figure it out. So add it to your program and try to figure out what it does.
What would it be?
And then the last one that I want to show you is how we go to the next page. And you can see, because it says end, but it has a picture of the next page, meaning it's going to take us to the next page. So let's see.
And wow, look at that.
And now, Francisco, where did my blocks go? We're on a new page and I don't have any programs here.
Oh, so what do? Do you have to make everything again?
I get to make something new.
Yes.
Because I have a program for one page and I can do something totally different for the other page. And that's pretty exciting. But actually, before we make another program, I want to show everyone how they can put themselves into their projects. Because I'm not sure if everyone noticed, but the projects that Francisca and I showed had our own faces in it. We customized our characters to look like us. So I'm going to show everyone what we can do. So I'm going to add a new character. And let's see, I'm going to scroll down. And they have these cool characters in Scratch Junior that have like no face yet. And the reason they have no face yet is because they want you to put your own face in there. So I'm going to choose, let's see, Oh, I want to choose this cowgirl. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
that's great.
if I wanted to just use that character as is, I would press the check mark. But because I want to customize it and make it my own, I'm going to click that paintbrush up here. And it takes us into the paint editor where we can color and draw and put pictures in. So now I'm going to go to this side and I'm going to click this camera button right here. And then I'm going to click where I want my picture to be. And I want it right here on the face. And we can see, can everyone see that?
Yes, look at that. That's so fun. There.
Okay.
Ooh,
So now my face is in there. So if I want everyone to try that out. And we don't have very long. So if you don't finish right now, that's okay. We're going to record this. Your teachers are watching. They'll remember. And we can always try to do this afterwards too. But now we have a character with my face in it. I have a cowgirl at the beach. That's me. And now I think we should show everyone how to do the voice recording, right?
Okay. But we have like 2 more minutes and then we want to see everybody's projects.
Perfect. Okay. So everyone watching, this is going to be the last thing that I show you from my project, but I'm really hoping that everyone is doing their own projects and that we can actually kind of share and see each other's programs. So this is the last thing I'm going to show you how to do. I'm going to add my start block, my green flag, and then I'm going to go over to these green blocks. And I'm going to notice that that block that Francisca showed us to notice isn't there yet. I only see this one that says pop, but I do see these outlined ones. So I'm going to click on that and it's going to let me record my voice. So I'm going to press this red button and go, la, 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 la. Let's see if it works. Okay. Oh, it gave me 2. I don't know why. And so now I think because I was having trouble sharing my audio, you're not going to be able to hear it. But luckily, you just heard me say la, 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 la. So you know what it's going to be. But so now there's my project and it's saying my voice. So not only does the project have my face in it, but it also has my own voice. So you can make it all your own. Okay.
I just want to say one more thing, that what programmers do is to figure out how to solve problems. So now that you were not able to share your audio, that's something that can also happen to all our friends out there. And it's your job to figure out how to solve that problem until your program works.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's something that I didn't talk about that much, but the reason that I test, and here, is everyone just seeing my face now? Is this good?
Yes.
Okay. The reason that I had to test out my program so many times is because it definitely doesn't always work. We always kind of have to see if it worked how we wanted it, and then we need to make a few changes. It's almost like when you're telling a story and you say, I kind of want to change what happens in my story. And that's totally okay because you're the writers of the story. So it's the exact same with programming. Okay. So now that was our create along. Does anyone want to share their projects?
So if you want to share, you can just show us like your screen on the camera of your device. So that would be great for us to see what you've been creating all this time.
So if I had it on my iPad, I would do this. Let's see. I'll open up my iPad.
I have mine here on my cell phone, which is another possibility for you to show us your work. So you can also hold it closer to the camera.
And we can show our cats like that.
Ooh, look at that. That's huge.
It's a really big cat.
There.
Whoa, Eva's is awesome.
Wonderful.
And you know what? If you can't show it to the camera on here, I want you guys to show it to each other because I know we have a bunch. Whoa,
Look
I
at
see one.
some friends from Mrs. Mitchell's classroom. Look at that program. Wow. You guys did such a wonderful job.
Fantastic use of those purple
Great.
blocks.
Yes.
Those are my favorites too. Ooh, I see a lot of hands.
Yeah, I've seen
So
these
now,
friends very hard. Hold on.
okay, yeah, let's keep showing. This is great.
What else do we have? Ooh, you are in a room and
With
you
3 pages.
wow, that's
so cool.
wonderful. Very good job, friends. Wonderful.
Awesome.
Great. Okay, who else?
Whoa, and so many characters.
And
Every
the
single
apple.
program or every project we've seen is so different and unique. Some people did a lot of programming blocks, some people did a lot of pages and backgrounds, and some people did a lot of characters. That is so cool, guys. Great job. Whoa! And I see a color theme for this one.
Yes. So that's a lot of customization and creativity that you can explore using the paintbrush. Just show you what in the moon, and that's in the jungle. Wow.
That is so cool.
Ooh, my
name
name
is
is
Fruity.
I love how you can add a photograph of yourself as well, because then you can be the character in your very own story.
Absolutely. You can be whatever
Exactly.
you want there.
This is
There.
fantastic. And we can keep sharing because I love seeing these projects. But also, if anyone has any questions, this is also a time to ask questions. If you didn't know how to do something, or if you want to change something in your project and you're not sure. Oh, let's keep going. Oh, I see the paint editor.
Editor.
Oh, it's not. Oh, there we go.
There,
Ooh,
perfect.
and you
That's
use the shapes. That's really cool. A lot of people don't know how to use the shapes in the paint editor, make circles and squares. That's really special.
great. Thank you
This
so
is
much,
awesome.
everybody, for sharing. There we have, wow, that's in the city and it's moving. Wow.
I see your face. I see new colors. I see a repeat loop. It's so cool.
That's wonderful. And there we go. A dragon, airplane.
That's a really cool airplane.
Look at that.
That
And
is awesome.
so creative. I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
Yes.
And I wonder, on this page, I wonder if these friends figured out that red block. Oh, they got to the other page too, because
They
I saw
did.
some that kept going and going and going and going. Good job.
This is wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Something
you,
I
Mrs.
really
Mitchell.
like. Something I really like about Scratch Junior is that you can record your voice, because some of us we're just starting out with learning to read and write, and it can sometimes be a bit tricky for us to share what we want to say. But if we can record our voice, or even a special sound, a sound effect, that can really help us to tell our story.
Absolutely. That helps everybody out there. So different learning styles, different creativities. So that's wonderful.
And Q&A means question and answer. So if you have questions, we have answers. Or at least we'll try.
If you're able to pop your microphone on, feel free to come in that way, or alternatively, you can use the chat box again, and we can read those out to Jessica and Francesca. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So, anybody, any questions? Do you want to know about a block, maybe? You want to know more about a character? How to use the paint editor? Any questions?
Is there anything that you want to see again? Maybe something that you didn't quite catch how to do it? Is there anything that we could show you again?
Yes. That's a great point, Eva. We could show them again.
The mic on. Right, can they hear?
How do you delete characters?
Very good question. So if you delete characters, you can just take your finger and tap on it and hold your finger down, and it'll start shaking, and there will be a little red X, and you can press that red X, and it's all gone.
Do you want to share your screen, Jess, with Scratch Junior?
Sure. So here, as I said, you can see my mouse. The mouse works just like your finger if you're working on an iPad. And you can go and hold it down, and then it's going to start shaking, and I can press the red X. But I want everyone to be careful. If you do that, you're going to lose the blocks that you made for that character too. So make sure that you want to delete it before you delete it. You can do the same for pages. If you don't want a page anymore, you can make a page go away. You could also delete your characters over here, anything like that. And then actually to delete blocks, if you don't want programs anymore, you don't hold them down, you take them and you drag them up and they disappear. And so that's how you delete blocks. That's a little different, but then you can always just drag them back down. Oh, another question.
Shout. Can you make
all of the characters move at the same time?
Yes, you can make all the characters move at the same time. Fantastic question. So that's why I was so excited about showing you all this green flag up at the top. Because here, let me add some more characters. I'll add me from yesterday and me from today. And I'll add this guy with kind of a fun little costume. So for each of them, I'm going to give a program. And here is an extra special trick. If you want them to all do the same program and you don't want to make the same program over and over again, you can do this. Here, I'm going to finish my program. So that's what it's going to look like with just one person. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it over to my other characters. Now they all have the same program. And when I press this green flag at the top, they all go at the same time.
Oh, such a nice trick. I love it.
Does that make sense? Does anyone have any more questions about what I just showed?
Those have been great questions. Well done.
We have one more friend there.
go?
Yeah, one more question.
Big loud voice.
Did you create the game Scratch?
So where we work at DevTech Research Group, we made Scratch Junior. So we worked with the team that made Scratch, and Scratch is for kids a little older than this, but Scratch Junior is special for kids your guys' age. And so our group said, we really like Scratch and we want to make it accessible for all kids. And so our group made Scratch Junior. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for all these great questions.
Okay.
We have like 3 minutes left, so I will share my screen for the very last time, I promise. And now I want to show you some other resources and additional activities that you can find in Scratch Junior Connect. So there you will see different projects that people have created. We also have in our website some other activities and lessons developed if you want to bring that into your classrooms. So we really invite all the educators to take a look, check it out, and see if something works for you. And the very last thing is that we have all these theory developed in these books that you can also find on Amazon. So if you're interested, you can get the books. You can also email us, as Jess said before, if you have questions or ideas or something that you'd like to share. Thank you so much. We are going to share these resources with you. And thank you for your time, your creativity, and your enthusiasm today. Thank you for the invitation too, Eva.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Francisca. And thank you, boys and girls, for joining us. If you can put your microphone on, pop it on now and join me with a big round of applause for Jess and Francisca. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is super.
And thank you, everyone.
Now, Francisca, I've got an idea from something that I could see behind you there. Can anybody notice on the wall behind Francisca, they can see some printed out Scratch Junior block cards. Can you see them? They're right behind her. So sometimes you might not have access to an iPad or a device, but you can still practice, you can still create your programs, because you yourself, you could be Scratch Cat. You could pretend to be Scratch Cat, or you could use a teddy bear or a little character, absolutely anything you've got, as long as they're following the instructions of your program. So just when I saw them behind you, that reminded me about that, because yeah, sometimes we don't all have access to our devices at the one time.
That's on our website. So if you want to have access to these resources, you can just download it there and cut it out. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Well, we're just about to finish up. Everyone, we're going to email you the link to the evaluation. We would really, really appreciate your time filling that out, because your comments, your feedback help shape our future sessions, and we would love to have more sessions like this. So again, thank you, Jess. Thank you, Francisca. Thank you for getting up so early and joining us. First thing in the morning. It'll be just about time for lots of the boys and girls to go home from school, if they're in school. Some of the nursery children might be here for a little bit longer. So thank you. I'm sure we've all learned lots today. I know I've learned some new things as well that I didn't know about Scratch Junior, so I'm looking forward to having a little try out with those. After the session, we will send a follow-up email with the links that have been mentioned this afternoon and the video recording of the session that will follow probably by tomorrow. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much. And thank you, kids, for your projects.